Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the podcast. I am joined with an amazing guest, Miss Jess. How are you, Miss Jess?
Hello, everyone. I'm good, thank you, and excited to be here today.
Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you on, and I'm excited to get into this episode. So, for my audience who's not familiar with Jess, Jess is an ICF certified professional coach known internationally for her professional dedication to personal growth and professional excellence. As a master coach in Neuro-Linguistic Programming (ABNLP), Jess specializes in empowering clients to shift perspectives, break through barriers, and create lasting positive transformation. Moreover, Jess is a certified 400-hour yoga teacher, guiding practices designed to deepen the mind-body connection and promote holistic wellness. Jess offers specialized online coaching and emotional healing therapy sessions focused on mindset, emotional resilience, and inner healing. Her compassionate, intuitive approach helps clients release past traumas, cultivate emotional intelligence, and reclaim their personal power for a life of greater fulfillment and authenticity. I am pleased to be joined with you, Miss Jess, on today's episode of the podcast. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Jess, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, everyone. My name is Soraya. That's official name, Soraya, and many people call me Jess or P Jess for short. I'm right now I'm a coach. Mainly I'm focusing on mindset, mindset, and emotional healing, emotional coaching in general. That's my main theme of how I do coaching.
So we mentioned a lot about you in the introduction, your experience, your vast experience, your background, who you are, and just now you introduced yourself. But I wanted to ask you one question about your journey, which is something that
Mhm.
we cover in this podcast. Everyone, I believe, has a surreal journey, but what's your journey?
Well, I actually graduated from a hotel and tourism industry. It looked like totally different, but actually related. I had been a tour guide before. I had been working for hotels in Bangkok, and it's kind of wellness yoga retreat resort in Phuket, like over 10 years ago. And that was the first time I discovered yoga and meditation and nutritional therapy or that wellness area, including coaching. And so in that wellness center, there are many people who provide therapeutic service. Can be, oh, there's so many about wellness coaching and wellness services, hypnotherapy, can be yoga, meditation, all kinds of things. So that was the first time, like over 10 years ago, I learned yoga for the first time and I realized how my body is so weak. I was so stiff, I was not strong. And yeah, I keep practicing until I came back to Bangkok. I committed for 1 year and turned out I wanted to become a certified yoga teacher. That's my starting point. Yeah, I learned to I become a yoga teacher, teaching yoga for many years and combined with nutritional therapy. At that time, I pretty much on the detox nutrition to client. I haven't done any coaching yet. And until one of my colleagues in that wellness center, they were just like, "Oh, Jess, you should. I recommend you to join this kind of training program. It's called NLP. It's the personal development. It's good for your mind. You will change your mindset and overall personal growth." I had no idea what it is, but this is my good So, okay, I listen just for myself, nothing to do with career and anything, just for myself. I want to grow, keep growing. So I attended the training program just for myself. Basically, I learned about how my mind work, how my emotion work, how the way the successful people think in the similar pattern, and many more. It was intense. Yeah, and then later, once I quit the job from that wellness center back to Bangkok, become a certified yoga teacher, I started to have people coming into me and asking for advice, like consulting about life, about this and that. And I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to coach someone. I don't know how. Uh, it's easy to tell someone what to do, but it wasn't that effective if you have a tools, something to actually empower them from a deeper level that they can drive themselves. When I know about my life transition and I got stuck, something like that. So I call my the trainer who trained me at that time and say, oh, I'm looking for another certification like coaching because I don't know how to coach people. And then so I attended the coaching program. So specifically just coaching, like how to coach people. And there are models and tools for me to help people combine with another techniques that they had. Yeah, so that's why I become a coach, certified coach, and then specifically for what I have been passionate of, which is about mind and emotion. That's my journey today, for short.
That's an amazing journey, and it's good to see that everything kind of aligns together and you've done so
Yeah.
many different things and you're passionate about coaching and yoga as well. But if I were
Mm.
to ask you what's your favorite thing about coaching, what would you say?
What would I say about coaching is I facilitate, I guide people to become more empowered, more confident about life, and then help them to unlock their full potential. It's not just do this and that. That's pretty much the consulting would do. Like if you consult, you sell your expertise. You tell them, okay, do this 1, 2, 3, 4. But as a coach, it's like, you grow with them, you work with them, you see them success, you see them breakthrough. That's kind of thing. I feel like that's fulfilling me a lot as a coach.
And if we ask about yoga, what is something that you enjoy out of yoga? How do you think yoga is
Mm.
beneficial to you as a person?
Wow, actually, I the first discover about yoga and yoga is my body alone. I discovered about how weak I was, because I at that time over 10, 20 years ago I wasn't in fitness yoga. I didn't when I discovered my first yoga session and being aware of my body, I oh my God, I need to take care of my body. That's my first thing, first goal, take care of my body. And actually, before that, from when I was 10 years old, starting 10 years old until university, until I think graduation, like over, I'm not sure how many years. I had been, it's kind of on and off of flu, common flu. My immune system wasn't that good. I took a lot of medication. Every season change. I can't live in the AC. My body was really weak in terms of immune system. I got sick easily. Um, until my first yoga class, and the next 6 months, as I keep practicing, I stopped medication that I've been taking my whole life. So I stopped medication, and I don't think I ever go back to take the medicine again. My immune system become stronger, including my physical body become stronger. And the bonus is my mind had changed. So um, because yoga is the meditation in movement. And after yoga practice, usually I spend some time, like 10 minutes, just to sit down and close my eye meditating. So it's for me, it's a bonus point. Body, mind, spirit, mental, emotional health is all wholeness for me. It's holistic for me in my practice. So yeah, I would say yoga changed my life. Physically, mentally, energetically, spiritually, yeah, everything. It's a big journey. And I can't stop. I can't stop practicing. Either I would do yoga in the morning or meditation. Gotta be some form of practice.
So if we go back to what we talked about in the introduction about mind shift coaching, timeline therapy, trauma
Uh-huh.
healing, can you please
Mm.
share what inspired you to get into these specific areas and why is it so important? And to my audience who are unfamiliar with what these are, what can you tell my audience about this?
Um, it when I was the journey was like when I in my life I have always been people coming over and then want to get some advice from me. And I didn't know how to do that. Sometimes I just give my own advice from my own experience, and I just feel like it wasn't that effective. Not every unit need the same medicine. Not every solution need the same key, right? So I feel like everybody have their own personalized um, solution. So I feel that through coaching, at first when you become coach, you basically pretty much you can coach pretty much anything until you found your passion on specific area. For me, is the mind, consciousness, and the emotion. So for me, I discovered that people can't move forward because they're stuck in their mind. They're stuck in their own fear. They're stuck in their own anxiety. They're stuck in their own certain belief that didn't help them to move forward. Some people don't know they have that. Some people just discover when they talk to me. Some people know what pattern that they have in my emotion, but they didn't know how to get out of that pattern. So they seek help. Uh, they seek help from professional to help them get through that certain thing in their mind emotion. If general in general coaching for my coaching for the mindset coaching is about a conversation, just like talking. I'm a therapist, just like talking in general, and then I will be able to help them. Okay, here is the area that we might need to dig deeper. That might help them to get out of this situation, stuff like that. Sometimes just a conversation alone help them move through. And if not, if the root cause of their negative pattern root in their subconscious mind, then I will use another technique is timeline therapy. Timeline therapy is a form of active imagination and help them um, discover the root cause of their emotion that's stored in their own subconscious mind. Because so human being, everybody consciously they know about their life, their surrounding, their friend, their work, their job. It's only take 2 to 5% of their consciousness to be aware of it. And the remaining is 95% of our human life that driven by subconscious mind, which is 95%. And they didn't know about it. Right. For example, some people, okay, let example something easy. When you learn how to ride a bicycle for the first time, it's very struggling, right? You learn bicycles first time, you learn um, driving a car for the first time. You learn cooking for the first time. If you haven't done that before, learn cooking for the first time. Anything for the first time. And after you've done that many times, you don't need a manual anymore. You don't need to look at the recipe anymore. You don't need to look at the how to drive a car anymore. Everything just go naturally, right? That's become stored in your subconscious mind. You can make up on a motorbike or something driving to work. So yeah, that's how and think about if we store that belief emotion since we were young until now, you may be like 20, 25, 30 years old or something. You didn't know it even, you didn't even know it exists into your life. Some memory or memory is stored in your subconscious mind. So that is when my timeline therapy help people to um, make peace with their past that might be hurtful in the past and help them remove that in make peace and then learn a new learning and then they can move on in their life with grace and ease and confidence. And that also combining with the trauma as well, because some people had childhood trauma that root in their childhood in their life, and they still keep that consciously or unconsciously, but yeah, something like stuck in there. When they talk about it, they still have big feeling about it, and they never forget. Or some people maybe forget, but some people never forget. So that's kind of thing. I help them get unstuck and then move on with happiness and peace with their life. Mm-hmm. So that's how I help my client.
That's amazing. That sounds great. The way you pieced everything together and you talked in great detail about those three different areas. So I'm sure my audience is familiar about it. And speaking about how you help your client, what are some actionable steps that someone who's watching this can take to
Mm-hmm.
be a certified professional coach like you and wants to be in the same field as you?
Yes, actually, there are. I encourage you to do research on who provide, what organization provide certification for coaching, and then take that training in person. There are many, I have seen many advertising on online coaching certification course and take how to do how to do things online. Personally, I feel that you wouldn't have a real experience on practicing. When you join an organization who provide the professional training, you learn from the trainer and then you get you practice like hands-on in real time. You get the practice hour, you get the real practice with human, another human. So if you take anything online, maybe no one can guide you how to do it correctly. No one can give you a real experience, sharing experience or real practice. I would say do some research on organization that provide and then yeah, and then join them in person. Yeah, it will take around 4 or 5 days or something like that, 4 or 5 full days. So it depends on the organization. Mhm.
That's great advice, and I hope that my viewer who's watching this and the audience take that into consideration on advice from Jess, who's an experienced professional that we talked about on how you can be like her. And I hope that until now that you're getting inspired by her journey, by her advice, and her desire to want to bring change in people's lives. And speaking of all those topics, it's kind of in line with your mission, which is to
Mhm.
empower people on their journey toward healing and personal growth through personalized and compassionate support. Why do you think this is so important, and how do you just hope to inspire others?
Um, from my experience alone, uh, I feel like going through going through alone can be challenging. or this difficulty, first you may not know what you have that it keep you where you are. So you seek professional to help you get through that. Second, you may know what pattern that you have you want to get unstuck. But you can't do it yourself because it's challenging to go through yourself. So it's better to help to seek professional to help you go through that. And when you work on yourself, and then it's the real empowering that you invest in yourself from within. With when you work with professional, it's kind of you're not going there alone. You have support, you have tools, you have guidance, and it's easier with ease and compassion. First thing first, many people don't have compassion for themselves. They go hard with themselves, like so. It's that's a form of self-love too. Seek professional to help you. Accept help is another form of self-love, and also people who've been through certain experience, some profession can help you go through that with ease as well. Mhm.
And I think that once we connect the dots and we know your mission and why you're so passionate about helping others and having impact towards people's lives, I think, like you mentioned about the introduction and talked a little bit about it in the game as well, about
Mm,
your pursuit of this path. And considering your background is completely different to what you studied in your degree and your education background,
mhm.
but why do you think you chose to stay in this field when you did study a completely different field?
Mm. When I first chose when I chose what to study at that time, I chose from what easy for me. At that time when I was young, there's no guidance that I didn't know what I become, what I want to be, what I at that time I just choose from passion. I want to travel, I want to and I study Mandarin and also English at that time. So I felt like I get to travel. I got to use the languages that I like. So good combination, easy for me. And then after that, after being through for certain time, and I feel like it's time for change. I think the good thing is I got invited to join the Retreat Center in Phuket too. That's why I discovered the new industry, the new area of life, and um I feel like at a certain time of life we have come to the point where you keep discovering yourself, you just learning about who you are, and then you discover your true passion, your purpose, and then you follow your passion and purpose to get it. Sometimes it's not just what you like and what I easy to do anymore, but what is fulfill you. Sometimes through experience and through life experience, you will have some time to reflect within that is it give me a meaning of fulfillment. So when you work on a certain job and career, and if it's just maybe back then it was fun, but it's not fulfilling, But if something is fulfill you, you don't feel like you're working. You feel like you are living life and you're having fun and you enjoy and you with passion and purpose. It's complete. You don't feel like you live paycheck for paycheck, and then the money is the thing for you, but your true passion and your purpose driven you to move forward. Yeah, it's come to I chose what fulfilled me. I chose my happiness. I chose my passion. That's why I it's okay to change. Life is full of change. So accept change in life and then answering the call that fulfill you.
I like that one key point you mentioned, which was like if you're doing something that you love, it's like you're living and not working paycheck to paycheck. I think that's so important. And I think that's something my audience should pick up on because I think if you're able to find something that you like, regardless if it's something you studied before, I
Yeah.
think that's when you feel really fulfilled and you have the best outcome, whether it's
Yes.
through your work or through people or impacting lives. So I think that's just an incredible point that you made. And speaking of how you kind of directed your path to a different direction, we talked about your journey and mentioned in the introduction about your master coach in
Mm-hmm.
neuro-linguistic programming and being a ICF-certified coach. But if we have to look at like a defining moment in your journey, which moment would you say pushed you and made you the Jess that you are today?
What moment that pushed me to become who I am today? Good question. There are many moments like that. And I got to keep remind myself that what is my purpose and what am I here to do? What I'm good at, what is my contribution to the world? Um, I look back and self-reflect a lot. Every time at maybe every now and then I reflect back like, am I still happy? Am I happy with this work? Is this um basically the bigger the dream, the bigger your passion, the bigger your purpose is that gonna keep you want to become more. My purpose is to help other people to raise their consciousness, raise their emotional wellness, living a joyful life, one by one. I don't need to help the whole world. And that will be the life force for you to help you move forward and become a better, like keep sharpen yourself, keep learning about you, and then helping others as well. So I think that moment come every now and then. I keep to self check in a lot every time. Yeah.
So, Jess, can you explain how you work with the clients and what is the step-by-step process of getting started?
Mm-hmm. First thing first, we're gonna have clarity call or chemistry call. See if we work. We work well together because it's gonna be like some 20 or 30-minute call that discover and learn about each other if we enjoy talking, if we enjoy conversation, stuff like that. And then if we are agree to move forward together, that's the first step. But before the call happened, that client had to have awareness about himself too. Like, oh, I have something happening, I have something going on, this kind of thing, but I don't know how to explain, but at least can you help clarify? As basically the client has to have that first awareness of what's something happening, something that they don't like about their behavior pattern, thought, emotion, or some sort of thing. And then they book a call for 20 minutes and we have a chat and see if we connect each other well. And then we move forward to the first session. Mm-hmm. And pretty much first session, I will go with the mind shift coaching first. Pretty much uh, discover life general, or if the client know, then we get to the point and then we work on that specific subject too. And then pretty much along the way we discover some more pattern that we might need to work on. And then I can, in general, I alternate between timeline therapy and mindset coaching together, conversation and then subconscious mind work, stuff like that, to um make peace with their own emotion. Mm-hmm. And adapt their mindset at the same time. And then that's it. Some clients stay for years, because most of them purchase as a package, so package like 10 hours, so and then they stay over a year. We don't really talk a lot. I mean, we talk pretty much every month or every other month, depend on subject, because sometimes after they're done a session, they had to go back and do some reflection. They do some work, some homework, because I have a homework for them to do as well. So not just talk every week. Yeah, and then pretty much.
That's awesome. And to know that you help people, which we got into in the podcast, but also your two blogs, you're a writer. You have two blogs, which is The Hidden Power of Thought, How Negative Patterns Affect Your Life, Draw
Mm-hmm.
and Emotional Intelligence,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unlocking Deeper Connection and Personal Growth. What
Mm-hmm.
drove you to write these two blogs and what did you want to get across?
The first thing I would go with the emotional intelligence first, because I feel um emotion or emotional intelligence have an impact in our life in every angle, because it's not just you and you, it's you with other. Is, let's say, if you because I think that that time when I come into that article, I got an inspiration from a relationship, so one of my client relationships, and realized that if you have emotional intelligence, you know yourself, you know your emotion, you know how to regulate, or basically well-being of your emotional well-being. Your is impact your relationship. It's not it's not a relationship with your partner, your family, your friend, your coworker, your boss, your everyone around you, including yourself. So that's why I got an inspiration to publish that book. And then another, the negative pattern of thought. This is huge because, okay, I ask you to imagine a red car, and then tomorrow you go on, maybe after this you go out, and then you go on a road and keep searching for the red car. You're gonna find the red car. You're gonna keep finding the red car. You can't unseen it. And every time you see the red car, oh, that's the red car. Why? Because you program to see only the red car. And think about it, if you program yourself to, I'm not confident. I'm not confident. You may not say it, but you know inside, oh, I'm not confident. I can't take that job. The salary is too high, it's too high responsibility. Oh, I can't approach her because she's too pretty. I'm not confident. And what else? Oh, I can't go vacation. It's too expensive. Oh, I can't what else? Other stuff, or that limiting thing, or that negative thing that you can feed your brain, gonna be true. Is you have the, because the way you, one negative thing, it doesn't mean I say don't think negative or don't feel negative. Be human. It's normal for us as a human being to, sometimes we have negative thought come through, sometimes we have negative emotion come through, and that's a human thing to you. Like, I'm not good enough for her, I'm not good enough for that job, I'm not I can't make enough money for that vacation, I can't, whatever, I can't pass that exam because I hate that subject. When you repeat that enough, that's gonna be true. That's gonna become true. This is neuroscience. This is science-based because first thing is when you're conscious about it, your frontal lobe brain, when you're conscious about it, and then now your limbic brain, your emotional brain, oh, I feel it. I see it and I feel it that I'm not confident about passing an exam, or I'm confident about she won't like me because I'm not good enough. And then with that repetition, it's thrown into your subconscious mind, your this program of your brain in here, cerebellum, I think. Yes. And it's gonna be true. Just like computer programming. What would you do to reprogram your MacBook to Windows? Right? You gotta change the whole thing. So yeah, just I think that blog is to educate the reader about when be conscious about your thought, because when you repeat the negative thought over and over, it will come true. And everybody want to have a happy and peaceful life. You don't want to program yourself into unfortunate living, and then you complain about why am I so unfortunate. Yeah, so it's start from your thought. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's such key point, key example. I think mentality, like you mentioned, your thought, what you think about, what you say to yourself is extremely important. Like the key examples that you mentioned, it's the basics pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think that's a key point that you mentioned as well. And
Mm.
I think that's just perfect the way that it is. And moving on to the last question before we wrap up this interview section of the podcast is a question I ask all my guests, which is if you could voice one unique message to the world, what would it be?
Know thyself. Know yourself. Yeah. If you know yourself, that's enough. Knowing yourself is not just knowing who you are, knowing your name, what you like, what color that you like, what food you like, what country you want to go through. It's not just that. It's not surface. Know yourself. Know the bright side of you, your authentic you, and know the shadow side of you. The shadow side is something that you didn't want to expose it to the light. You didn't want to tell the world that who you have not nice in the back, something like that. But you know yourself. It's okay to feel um, certain negative emotion towards self, because it has its purpose. Emotion has its purpose. It teaches you who you are now and who you can become. It's a guiding. Is people okay? I say negative thought, negative emotion. For me, they are teacher. They are messenger to me. If you are aware of your own negative thought, if you are aware of your own ego, if you are aware of your own negative self-belief, it's great. You have an awareness of, oh, I have negative thought. Wow, next time I will change the thought to something more powerful to myself. Like when you aware of, oh, I have a feeling of unworthiness, like I feel not confident, I feel not worthy for that job or something. It's great because now you know, wow, I have such an emotion toward myself. Now I can choose different feeling. What can I do to feel more confident about me? So treat them as a messenger. They are here for that is purpose. It is here for the purpose. There's no, for me, it's not negative or positive, it's all neutral. And so when you know yourself, you have the shadow side, you have the bright side. It makes you who you are. They are here. Everything, the shadow and the bright, the negative and positive is all human beings, it's all who you are. So I would say know it, to help you to grow in everywhere of your life. Mhm.
I think that is a great way to end this interview section of the podcast. Thank you so much, Jess, for your time.
Mhm. Happy to be here. Happy for to support.
Awesome. Yes, I happy that you came on and spent your time on the podcast giving valuable information to my audience.
Yeah, pressure. If anyone of your audience have any question or need a guideline how to get started, yeah, feel free to connect with me. Yeah, on
Absolutely.
anywhere on social media. Mhm.
Absolutely. I'll put your link and everything that they need to connect with you, all the details, your links in the description below so they know how to connect to you. They know your website, where to find you. And with that, I would like to thank my audience who has made it to this end of this interview section of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. And again, this wouldn't have been possible without Jess, who agreed to take her time and come on.
My pleasure to be here, and I'm really really happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me, and yeah, anytime. Until next time, if you have any new thing that I could help and support, then I'll be happy to.
Awesome. And the last thing I want to mention to my audience is if you're new to the channel, if you haven't already done so, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video if you did find it interesting and it's something that you want others to see. And I will see you all for the next episode. Until next time, goodbye.